Studio Galaxy 473, and we operating from Confer. This is the second part of our program where we delve right in the politics. Your number to call us is 410-3030. We always encourage you to share our program. We are the new kid on the block. So we need you to share our program and subscribe to Studio Galaxy 473. And we have with us in studio today Michael Battis. And we're going to delve straight into politics. A long time I've not had the opportunity to engage Michael in the rum shop. And as a result of that, we like he's missing in action. There are so much issues that take place in Grenada that you would love to hear Michael's view, Kennedy Boudlal, Kenny Lal Singh, and these other individuals. And we normally have serious discussion when we meet in the symposium. The last time I met Indy, and he was speaking about these healthy discussion. So today I have Michael with me, and I'm going to delve straight out. Michael, I'm extremely disturbed that 50 years after independence, politicians in Grenada are referring to people as classless, commoners, beggy. I mean, this thing, well, 50 years ago, perhaps we could have dealt with it. But now, today, you have the prime minister and several members of his government, good people and bad people, you know, every with such regularity, they seem to be so dismissive of people. Michael, what do you make out of this thing?
Well, so much have changed and so much have not. And it is not just the utterances, you know.
Michael, let's take this call.
So
Take the call. That is, we have a gentleman on the line. Yes, scholar? He's speaking, but he's a bit low. We hearing him? We're trying to get this caller online even before we start. No. Caller, you have to try and call us again. Sorry, perhaps it's our mistake. The caller will call back.
I hope I hope the scholar didn't think that we're trying to avoid him.
Yeah. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Give the caller opportunity to call back. Let the caller call
Can
back.
you call him back?
Yeah. Yes, Michael. So let us go ahead with this issue. Go ahead.
I think so much have changed and so much have not. But what is most disturbing is not just the utterances, it's the policies. If you look at the first thing that they did was an attack on the people at the bottom of the economic ladder. So they have gone back to the days when it is us versus them. Look at how immediately the government saw the need to remove that $150 from the coffers of the of the most vulnerable. Look at how they have sent home hundreds of workers, low income workers. Look at how they behave with in times of crisis. With look at their housing policies where they are totally disregarding the terms and condition under which these houses were given to the very people at the bottom of the ladder. So I see this new bunch of guys as an extension of the old GNP who looked down on the old NDC, who looked down on the poor people of the country, who see a vulnerable person as a nuisance, who see a farmer as a beggar. So I'm really not surprised to hear some of them. I listened to the Prime Minister during the campaign when he was asking people to take off their lights in honor of Maurice Bishop that left us a free Grenada. I watched how the Prime Minister tried to establish um, our independence celebration on October 19th. I watched um, how he placed Maurice Bishop picture on our $50 anniversary note. Those are all indications of how little that this government has placed on the existence of the common man. Some of the remarks that they're making, even on Facebook, some of it is frightening. Some of it, to me, is an attempt to instill violence in our politics, and showing total disregard and disrespect for other segment of our society. That's how I read it.
But Michael, is also an attempt to introduce a class system in our country.
Well, that has already been established. The class system has already been reestablished by this government.
But what
Yeah.
seems to be almost a paradox, none of these individuals who involved in the government today came from the petty bourgeoisie, or they are not remnants of the plantocracy. All of them is children of labor and from what Maurice Bishop would call the proletariat.
Yeah, but they have I don't know if they feel I wouldn't say they get rich and switch.
They don't reach the
No,
people like
but
hell.
maybe the status. Um, when I listen to how they refer to poor people, I mean sometimes it's sad, and when I remember where I came from, and I know how people used to refer us in those days, Garyites, as those kind of
Stinking
people,
garrets,
sleeping
cadavers,
dirty, dunce,
dons,
illiterate, and all that kind
military.
of stuff. I see that same thing. I see the same remarks been made by members of this government, and it's frightening. They're always talking about them, those kind of people, and when they're using coded frames. Yeah.
We have the caller back online, so let's get the caller. Yes, caller, welcome. We continue, caller. Yes, you can come in. All right. Yes, it is. And even what is even shocking, the amount of people in Grenada that seems to be glad or supportive of the government demeaning and fractious and dismissive attitude.
Well, I think something that we overlook. A lot of NDC supporters had a hatred for one man, and anyone associated or tend to be supportive of that individual.
Yes, caller.
Yeah.
Yes, you hear me, Mr. Pierre?
Loud and clear, man.
Hello?
Go right
All
ahead. We're
right.
hearing you.
Yes, I just want to say, thank you for the program this morning. I didn't get a chance to call in, but, Mr. Baptiste being there give a lot of information that we need, especially as a farmer. A lot of hope that is still there for us. And I really want to thank him for that openness because most time we look at party side of things and not looking at how Grenada could go forward, especially in our agriculture and poultry. I was just saying, look at Barbados and Guyana. They're doing poultry chicken and they are surviving. There's a good models that we could use as well. And I really thank you for that opportunity because many times you hear when he and Dr. Keith Mitchell had a war. But this is good democracy. And it's time that we learn to debate issues, but look at issues that can develop, especially from a man as a farmer, looking for hope outside there. I know it is there, and I think that, I really thank you for that program. And we are look for sponsor for it our next hour. And you have a man like Mr. Baptiste on, you need about 2 hours or 3 hours because you have a lot of wealth of knowledge doing, helping out Grenada in certain areas. Thank you very much, sir.
Well,
Yes,
well,
caller.
Carla, let me say that I have no more wars with Dr. Mitchell. The war now, if any war, we have to be allies in a rescue mission for Grenada. That era is behind us, and things happen. And as men and as citizens of the country, people would experience recognizing what's happening today. I think it's incumbent upon us to work together and address the problems affecting Grenada. And that's why I say to people, I say publicly, this is a time when Dr. Mitchell should stay put, fight on, die with your boots on. We need soldiers. A lot of things are happening. There's not enough people speaking out on behalf of the haveless, the hopeless, the vulnerables, the farmers, the unemployed, the single women head of household. And we're going to touch on that someday during this program, I hope, because we looking at a situation where a lot of people are homeless today. Some of them affected by beryl. Some of them, even before beryl, they had problems with their homes, and this government has quantified the problems of the vulnerable and the hopeless, the farmers now. If you look on the farmers' condition today, hurricane passed since in July. This is September. The country was insured by the new National Party. A check was given to this government within the first 2 weeks. So the people on the outside recognize the need to help Grenada. But these guys who are there now, the highest paid politicians in the history of Grenada, they don't see the need for that. Some they say they're holding your money till Christmas because they want to give you a Christmas present. In the meantime, they're not understanding the importance of agriculture to the rural people. And timing, they don't understand timing. So we'll have shortage of eggs, we'll have shortage of meat, we'll continue to see bananas and so on being $5 and $6 a pound for a very long time because the longer you take to go back, well, maybe we might eat black pepper.
Yes, Michael, as the individual call on the Grenada Development Bank,
Yeah.
what the government did is tantamount to raiding the bank. I mean, what is your reaction?
Well, let me tell you, and I will tell you my reaction with it. And I'm glad you asked, God. That's a very important question. I was in the government. I was in government from '95. Um, First when I got in, and all the ministers of government, 'cause I know all of them at the time, none of them dare go to the Grenada Development Bank because it was conflict of interest. Everyone went to Barclays or RBTT or whatever other commercial bank there is. Now, the officers of the bank, the manager of the bank, is all employed was all employed by the cabinet of Grenada. So when you go to the GDB for a loan, you're actually going and asking your employee to pass you a glass of water. I mean, if you put them there and you ask them, say, "Hey, pass me a glass," you expect the employee to say no? Obviously not. But Francis, what is most disturbing? Honorable Prime Minister, here is a man who was crediting from people on the outside, crediting cases of beer for $55, selling it one for $1. Boss, boss in several
You
businesses.
have a call on the line? Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller. We're still struggling with taking that call. Yes, caller.
Hello,
Yes, go right ahead. We're hearing you.
Mr. Baptiste. Good morning to you. Mr.
Pleasant
Pierre. Good
morning to you,
morning to
sir.
you as well,
Pleasant
sir.
morning to you, sir.
All right. Very impressed with this agriculture talk which you are conducting at this present time. I think it has a very significant role in our country as we speak, because nobody is paying any much of emphasis. And if you go around most of the supermarkets, even the normal people who sell agricultural products, we are very shortage of it. And God knows what is causing that. But I think next point I would also like to make is that we actually now live in a hurricane zone area. So I don't know if the agricultural system or the Ministry of Agriculture could encourage people in different parishes, yeah, that every parish should stand on their own to support the agricultural need, yeah, because we need food, and our import bill is very high. In the current situation, we do not have any ripe bananas and many other things for the last couple of months, yeah. So if we could have it in different parishes, like if the north of the islands is been hit, so we have the other parishes could even support themselves and help the people of the north. We everybody's supposed to try to stand on their own, you know. So basic things, sometimes we cannot get tomatoes, we cannot get lettuce, things of that nature. But the agricultural system should be properly designed. Grenada is a small, beautiful country, and we have nice land where things can grow very easily. But I don't see a drive to encourage people towards agriculture. We are shortfalling. I don't know what causing it, but we will. I would personally like to see agriculture being given the number one priority in Grenada, by all means. Yeah.
Yes, scholar.
Have
Thank
a
you
Oh,
good
very
morning.
much. Yeah.
thank you very much, Carla. Very good observation there. Now, if you notice, the Minister of Agriculture, with so much on the plate in agriculture, he talked about creative economy. Now, in terms of every parish doing something different, let's look at it by locations. There are areas where we have rivers, we have water. So it might be easier for a farmer who have access to irrigation to grow some crops that requires lots of water in based on his location. In terms of the hurricane, we cannot be daunted by that. Hurricane will be with us forever, and we know the destruction of hurricane. The hurricane banana is a 9 month crop, but we must not stop planting bananas. Hurricane does not come every year, so we plant the bananas. We concentrate on ground provisions. We concentrate on poultry because we importing 20 million pounds of poultry products in Grenada. We bringing in pigs from St. Vincent. The World Bank has given us 25 million for livestock. It's been sitting with this government for over 2 years, and they have yet to disperse these monies to farmers to help meet. So, in spite of the hurricane, we still could accomplish our food security. Corn, we can store it. Yam, tanya, dashin, potatoes, those grow in the ground. And when you listen to Dr. Pepper talking about growing black pepper now as an alternative crop, you have to wonder if this guy is going crazy. As you know, black pepper take 3 years to bear, and you have to go through 8 stages. You have to plant it, you have to harvest it, you have to clean it, you have to wash it, you have to dry it, you have to grind it, and you have to package it. 3 years. I'm not very good in maths, but multiply multiply 3 years by 12. You'll see you get 36 months, and then divide that into 6 weeks, and you'll see how much how much chicken you could grow in that time. And we have a ready market, my brother. There should be no need for unemployment, high unemployment in Grenada, and this high food import bill, because we have a ready market. Could you imagine? Kraft gave this government a check after Ivan for farmers, and as of now, not a penny has been given to farmers. So we have shortages and shortages, and we will have shortages for a long time. Plantains are now $5 a grain. Cabbage coming out of Canada is $14 a pound. Beet $13 a pound. Tomato $10 a pound. My God, we need the political will to start growing the things that we have here. And when we start doing so, we could cut down on the food import bill, and these monies could circulate in the rural economy, and we could have a better life, my dear brother.
The time, I believe, has come for the directors of the GDB Bank.
We're
The
coming back to
GDB
that.
Bank started.
Right.
The
So
directors of the GDB Bank need to
okay,
go.
good. Now we talk about the GDB. And I was disappointed to hear a man with a legal mind saying that every Grenadian, he say the minister is a Grenadian and he's entitled to get loans. No, Prime Minister, you're wrong. If this minister went out there and created bad debts, trusting people thing, wholesalers, and selling at lower than wholesalers, and pass bad checks, and owe people all over the country, he's not entitled to come to GDB to get taxpayers' dollars to pay his debt. Prime Minister, I got involved in several businesses, all my own money, so I could do whatever I want. If I don't go good, if he boss, I discontinue it. It is my money. How do you justify giving taxpayers money to your minister to go out and pay bad debts that he owe, checks that he bunks, taxpayers' money, and he have no collateral? It is conflict of interest. And when you look at it today, whenever a farmer goes to the bank and asking, or an entrepreneur asking for assistance to start a business, you're putting up you're putting up a wall. And you talk the last time, and folks say they send me for you. No, that's not true. They send me for the wrong things that you're saying.
You have a caller on the line. Let's take this caller. Caller, you're live on Studio Galaxy. Let's go, caller.
No, this is a guy from Port Alonso, but I don't know what's live.
Okay, sorry.
All right.
right.
So
Yeah.
so when you say farmers must go to GDB, really?
Yes, caller, you with the Galaxy equalizers now. Let's go. You're live on Studio Galaxy.
Yeah, well,
Gabriel.
I only do on the phone.
Yes.
Because my radio down too.
Well, yeah, but you have the phone. That is new technology, and it's good when you see them old people and them start to adopt the technology. And we have Michael Baptiste with us this morning, and we're on the GDB Bank. Let's go.
Oh.
You want to fire some shots?
You mean make my contribution?
Yes, man. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I want to find out something because I was speaking to some young people yesterday, and they said that they saw a lot of wrong things going on in the country, but they're afraid if they talk, they would not get a job. So I was wondering if we come back as how we used to have it in the revolution, I say conquer revolution, say bishop. I remember the days you go in prison, you don't know when you're coming out. If they say you was a conquer because you condemn bishop policy.
Where you go? Where you went? Where you went? When you afraid, where you went?
I was in Armitage yesterday. I was last night. I had some guys here.
During bishop time. Where you went?
Bishop time?
During the revolution.
Well, I have time to. Well, in the revolution, I had they wanted to jail me, so I ran away. You remember the story?
You make for Trinidad.
Yeah, go try to give me political asylum for 7 years before I come back. Yeah, because I had to run because they came to pick me up. They didn't meet me. They pick up my brother. They take AK and take out bed sheet on my mother. She died. She grieved and dead because they, when she see they come to kill me, and I was not violent, and they came so rough.
How you mean in violent?
They want to question.
How you mean in violent? Why they beat you up in school? When you was in McGann College?
Well, they say, well, all that because I was a back gay right. Yeah. I was one of the strongest gay right in school.
You have to send police to guard him in school,
Yes. Gary said, the Attorney General, Mr. Howard Squire, sent police to guide me because I got beaten there for being the only student to remain in the school when the buses go into St. George's and demonstrate. Bishop was used children, he used children to make up in number for the demonstration. He was a children he had in the front line. I don't know why he had so much children
He
demonstrating with
always
him.
hiding behind women and children.
Yes, children. So
Mhm.
I was the one refused to take part, and so I become a Mac man in those days. So I don't know if what we're going back to. If you say this government going wrong, people say they're afraid. This is the most among the victimization I see going on because people afraid. Some people have a little. They say eating a food, and if they talk, they go lose it.
Well,
If they talk,
Carla, we
they're
we
going to.
we've seen a lot of that on the calling programs, and a lot of that on the social media, Facebook. You're no longer free to exercise your democratic right. And you know what is so interesting about that? When the new National Party was in power, everybody was free to express themselves in any way, shape, or form. But all of a sudden now,
Yes.
anytime you talk about Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell, it's like, even if you talk about, if you say there is no God, you don't get no argument from nobody. But if you say Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell talking a whole lot of nonsense, everybody want to cut your throat. You understand? So you have to stay firm and just speak and speak the truth and speak the facts and wherever let it fall wherever it may.
Yes, scholar. Thank
Yeah.
you. You are custom with this thing.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
we're getting back to the GDB.
Yeah.
The GDB was created to help business people and farmers. It was not created to help politicians. The charter of the bank is they in violation of the charter of the bank. And Prime Minister ought to know that a minister of government should not go to the GDB for a loan. Yes, he's a citizen of Grenada, but there's conflict of interest. And so too is the CBI program. Are you saying that it is okay for a minister to be a CBI agent? It is okay for ministers to have interest in companies that have that selling passports, and then these items are coming before you. Let's face it. Where are we going? Where's the transformation with that? How could you put money in GDB Bank, knowing full well that the majority of it is going to your ministers and your supporters? That is not development. That's not how. That's not the reason why the bank was created. So I think it is terrible, and I think we need to speak out against it, and we need to say no to the Prime Minister. You are wrong there again. The minister who took that huge loan to pay off bad debts that he made, he should not be given that loan. He should go to a private bank and handle his matter because he has no collateral. When he fails or he gets out of office at the next election, what happened to the taxpayers' money? So that's my position on that.
Well, this one was a tough one.
Yes, it was.
And if the several members of the government are agents selling passport, where are the check and balance?
Well, there's no guardrails.
Because the Minister
Yeah.
of Finance involved, the Prime Minister involved, we have some other heavyweight involved.
Well, I know for a fact because I've heard him, the Prime Minister, and I said so on another program, that the Prime Minister should tell the nation the name of the company that he has an interest in that was selling passport before he got elected. Of course, they chop off half of my head for that, but I did
Go back.
go back so they could chop off the other half. But I'm still saying so, Prime Minister. You may say you're a citizen of Grenada and you're a lawyer, but if you are the head of the government and you're traveling regularly and you have an interest in a company that is selling passports, the people of Grenada need to know the name of the company and how many passports the company where you or any ministers have an interest, how many passports have you sold and how much monies have you realized out of the sale of the passport and whether or not that constitute conflict of interest. There's an ethics committee. I don't know how effective that ethics committee is, but I think the ethics committee should look at that. If I am not saying that a minister cannot be engaged in business. Yes, you can, but you cannot go to GDB for a loan, a bank that you are a regulator. That's terrible, and I feel that should stop.
Even the directors, we
Well,
understand.
of
say,
course, because they have to pass through cabinet for approval. They are hired by members of cabinet, recommend names to the cabinet, for approval to serve on the board. So obviously, the cabinet minister will have a leg up on anybody else because he has his man on the board, and that can be good. And how is that serving agriculture and small farmers and small businesses, though?
Small farmers can go in the bank.
Not at all. They don't have the collateral, and we are not liberal enough to take risk with farmers. And that's the other thing that we need to look at. We need to look at GDB as a bank that taking risk. And I say take risks because you might have a farmer that does not have lands, but he's working lands and he's producing, and he has been consistently doing so for a while. I think the bank, we should take risk with him. And what other place to take risk than the development bank? And if the GDB is operating as all the other commercial bank, then agriculture cannot develop
The
because we
time
need.
has come for the GDB bank directors to vacate the scene, to go, to resign.
Well, we have to petition them
They
for that.
flaunt the law,
Right.
and the law was there since 1973 under Uncle Gary.
Of course.
They flaunt the law with impunity.
Yep, that's for sure.
The time has come
Mhm.
for this group to go. Well, Michael is from one side of corruption to the next one, national lottery. So many rumors
Well,
that are coming out there.
I heard of the situation, and I know for a fact there is what you call a man and woman thing involving lottery. And if the man is the accountant and the woman is the working in the front there, and I think that there should be separation. I'm not saying that your lady can get a job, but she must not have the same job, the same place where you're working. I feel they should find another place for her to work, and effort should be made to do an auditing of Lotto. I think the former senator had true rumors. I don't want to spread any rumors. I love to talk with facts. But I heard there was some utterances he made on the Lotto and didn't go down very well. But I think the public cry is loud, and one should look at Lotto, what's happening here, so to bring satisfaction to the public. Yes,
Yeah, I think they should have an independent investigation into
yes,
national law.
yes, I think so too. Yeah,
It's the first time we have heard in the history of Grenada that a minister has been fired. Nothing is wrong with firing a minister.
not at all.
The prime minister's prerogative. But he has been escorted by police out. And this one seems, what we are hearing, that he expressed strongly his concern
Right.
about the corruption in Lotto.
Well, maybe he should do the right thing and now speak up now that he's no longer in government. If you express it while in government and you get fired, now is the time for you to come and ball out, stand up and
You know, makes sense losing your job and then losing your tongue.
well,
The minister lost his job
and he lose it down.
and the minister lost his tongue.
Right.
That don't make no sense.
Well, let's see. Thank you.
But it's a worrying
Mhm.
factor.
Right,
Michael, from one to the other,
right,
barrel pass
right.
and destroy a significant percentage of the houses in Carriacou. And it seems the people in Carriacou without hope. We have 100 house unit built in Carriacou. And it appears that the government feel this house too good for the people.
Well, you know,
You
leading
deal
up
with
to
that.
the campaign, I heard the Prime Minister using his legal expertise. He said it's a criminal offense for government to have all these houses and not distribute it. Well, the same houses that he spoke about that were not distributed, they're still not distributed. In the case in Carriacou, I think it is a crime to chase people in a crisis out of public housing. But let us look at the policies of the government through the through these houses, these China built houses. Now, first of all, these houses were built by China at the request of the government to assist vulnerable single women, head of household. It was not built to be sold to the diaspora. Why I have no problem with the diaspora. The diaspora are people who left us and live in overseas. I too was one of them. But I don't think it is right for government to take these houses and sell to people in the diaspora. People in the diaspora have a better opportunity than those here. They should do so. I listened to the Minister of Housing and I cried. When I heard the minister responsible for housing I think Miss Thomas, she said, the houses are there, and come with your money, come with $70,000 and take one. That's what I hear. That's what I hear she say. I mean, oh God, Miss Thomas. I mean, you live in a poverty-stricken area. I mean, you may be isolated from the other poor people, and you're a woman. Think about a single woman head of household who are working for $1,500 or less a month, and think about that. A $70,000 mortgage on over 10 years would yield about a $780 something dollars a month. And out of, you're talking about more than half of her salary would have to go towards that. Plus, she'll have to come up with a sizable down payment. Now, if a single woman working for $1,500 to $1,000 and have to come up with $700-800 a month for rent, how would she eat? How would she send her children to school? How would she buy gas? How would she pay electricity? How would she live? That is just outrageous. I'm begging the government and the Minister of Housing to relook the situation. And here's what you could do. You can sell some of the houses to civil servants and those who can afford the 70,000, but you must put aside 50% of these houses for single women head of household, and you must give them a 30-year mortgage. Extend the life of a mortgage, not for 10 years, but for 30 years for single women with children, that they can go to the banks and get a loan with a government guaranteed loan for 30 years and pay at $300 or $400 a month, and they could secure some of these houses, and that would assist the vulnerables in owning something. As it is now, it's just impossible for the poor to have access to these houses. I mean, if this were to continue, a lot of people would end up living under Paradise Bridge because you have children, you don't have nowhere to put them. Rents are going up, rents are high now, and we have to go back to the drawing board. We just can't continue with that where we have a one size fits all policy. Certain arrangements must be made for single women. And another thing we have to look at, Francis, as you would imagine, when a person reaches a certain age, the bank discriminate against you. You cannot get a loan. So there are some women that's in their 40 something, some men in their 40 something. They cannot go to the bank for a loan, and therefore they remain homeless. But if we cater a liberal policy where we extend on the life of the length of the mortgage, and we give government guaranteed loans because you have the facilities, a sort of government guarantee loans. These the category of people that I'm talking about: single women, single men with children that's not earning a lot of money, they will be able to afford one of these houses. But for heaven's sake, stop selling these houses to people in the diaspora, because when the survey was done, it was not done with the diaspora in mind. China did not give their taxpayers dollars to help citizens or residents or Grenadians living in the United States or Canada. It was meant for people locally who cannot help themselves. So let us have a plan, a mortgage plan, where we can involve some of those folks, because we have a lot of people out here now with children that earning $1,000 on some in cases less, and they would like a roof over their head. Let's facilitate them, and that's my plea to the Minister of Housing. I want her to invite herself into the feelings of the poor, the left out, the single women with lots of children who do not have a male in the house but have to house themselves, Ms. Thomas. Go back and look at your plan, and your plan is inhumane. Your housing plan is inhumane for single women. And have a heart, man, and make arrangements so that this single women, women with children, men with children and past the age and cannot face the bank, they will be able to get a house. Thank you.
Well, this one, Michael, you have to. I like how you say invite herself into the life because she has a master's degree, and it seems that a lot of the government ministers, the certification has put them in a new social strata.
Well, I think that is part of the problem why they look down on the poor and the vulnerable. I remember growing up as a poor boy in Munich. It used to be a color. It used to be the little boathouse you live in. It used to be somebody that maybe can afford to go to St. George's to school or so and so on.
GBSS and convent.
Right. So they put you in a different category, and I see that slowly creeping back. But let me say to them, education does not create class. It probably put you in an institution maybe of higher learning, but it's not everyone that go to that institution come out with any form of higher learning. And being certificated does not mean you have a lot of common sense, because education and common sense is two different things.
Michael, what you make of the excessive traveling of government ministers? The Prime Minister, perhaps, I don't, his tanks of burial
Well,
that had him staying in Grenada for 2 weeks.
no man, you miss out something, man. What do you mean he's staying? Watch. That man like to fly so much, eh? After burial pass, he missed the flying so much. First thing he asked for is a helicopter. Watch. And the man flying all over Grenada and Carriacou. Imagine the man flying so much. The man left Grenada in helicopter. He fly to Carriacou. Your own minister there. He can't find him. And he don't say because he have to fly to somewhere else.
Yeah.
And he anxious. He can't stay on the ground long. So he take the helicopter and he flying up in St. Patrick. He fly on again and he go back. And he don't see Tevin at all, because the flying. And let me say something about the flying. And
You ever call on the line? Yes, caller, come in. I don't know if you're flying, but come in. Welcome, caller. Yes, come in. We get him? Yeah, I think the WhatsApp.
And let me say something about Beryl. During Ivan, when Grenada was devastated, everyone complained that Dr. Mitchell was on a boat in Grenadian waters,
Yeah. Battleship.
in a battleship in Grenadian waters. But during Beryl, 11 of the ministers was out.
That's 11.
Uh-huh.
You have one, not 9 ministers, yeah?
Well, yes.
Or you check those that are not. Yes,
Elected.
caller, welcome.
Yeah.
We want to hear you. We want to hear you. You know that WhatsApp sometimes internet not as strong, and WhatsApp have a delay, but the caller wants to get us so we don't get it.
Well, they'll call back.
All right, so you caller.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chief.
And callers, hit us with all you got.
Yeah.
You understand? No holds barred.
No holds barred.
No, it's anything you want.
Yeah.
But me, the program, thing in, anything you want to
No
ask about
holds
me.
barred in our program.
Yeah, ask me anything you want, man. Don't afraid. Now's your chance. You have to give your name. Just pick up the phone and pelt it behind me. And,
Hello.
yeah.
Yes, man. Yes,
Yes,
caller.
Mr. Baptiste.
Yes,
Regarding
man.
the houses again, right?
Yes, man.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is that most of the houses, actually, the houses, I don't think they carry any kitchen cupboards and other bedroom cupboards and stuff of that nature. No, I think what they're trying to do is they try to fit this in, and then the prices go up. And most of our people are like trade, right? So if you sell the house as it is, like for 10, 15,000, whatever it is, it's smaller prices, you make it affordable for people, right? So the people, about people have what it has, they have the mechanism that they always have some, if they are not probably somebody in the family always have a trade, right? So they could build cupboards and everything, or whatever the design they wanted, or whatever the cost they wanted at, that is leave it up to them. But more you put into it, you will raise the cost at more higher, which is not necessary at this present time. Because all we're trying to do at this point in time is to make it affordable for people who do not have. Yeah?
And who cannot afford to go to the commercial bank? Don't leave that out.
Yes, because that is why
All
we
right.
have this small, like under $15,000.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
and next point I want to also make. Um, I know you were in the politics at a very early stage. Back then in GDP, there was an office which was funded by the United Nations. It was called CDU, Small Business Development Enterprises.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can remember that.
Yes, of course I remember. Yeah.
Right. Now, when you see you're gonna apply for money, the person must go through that office. They have been actually screened and been guided.
Mm-hmm.
So you go for money, yeah, you're not just being given the money, but that office make sure that the monies go towards the channel policy which they give you, and make sure you be successful so you cannot go off track. Yeah? You
Yes,
cannot go
yes,
off track.
yes. It have to
Yeah,
be
so
used for
they
the
keep you
purpose of which it was
focused.
intended. Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
And they make sure even if you go up drift, they keep you and they bring you back. No, this is a mistake you're making. Correct it and go this way. So
right.
they're just not giving the money, but they make sure that you are being rightly guided and you're being successful.
There were project officers.
Yeah,
Don't forget that. There were project officers
yeah,
employed. So they manage
yes. So you're
they manage the loan for
successful.
you. They see
Sure.
if you talk about building
Yeah,
something, they know how to give the requisition, whether or not how they disperse the funds based on the amount of things that's done. Then they didn't give you all in one shot. They give you in portions based
that's correct.
on what you're
Because
doing.
they keep attack on what you're doing.
That was
But
then.
now I
That
don't
was
think
good
so. Then
that was good governance then. In spite of what they said, that was good governance, and that was
all
people
due respect.
who had
Yeah.
the interests of people. You see, watch. Politics is not how bright you are. The number one qualification of a politician is that you must care about people, ordinary people. Not how bright you
Sure.
are.
Sure.
And if you
Sure. So
but today we elect people because they come and say, "Oh, I got a degree from Harvard, I got a degree from Yale, and all of that." None of that. Now you
no.
look at let's say Dr. Mitchell for one person. He may have a PhD in mathematics, but I don't think he was elected because of his PhD. I think he was elected because people saw him as a person, as a doer, somebody that cares about
Sure.
ordinary people, and they was elected, and he was elected, and he was given the opportunity to serve. So our politics should not be based on a man's academic qualification, and I think that is the mistake that we've been making over and over. Save and except the people in St. Andrews Southwest. And I always take my hat off to the people in St. Andrews Southwest. When I was running for election, I came across 3 lawyers and I defeated all of them. And I know this one getting nervous now because he believed that I think he'll be the fourth. But when I when I run in St. Andrews Southwest, I run against 3 lawyers, and I told the people then, look, I'm not applying for a job here as the principal of the college. I'm not asking you to teach. I want to be a servant. I want to build dams for you. I want to build roads. I want to build playing field. I want to pass along marketable skills to the youths and so forth. I said, don't bother with these 3 lawyers here. They have far more qualifications than I am, but we are not on trial. We are not on trial. We didn't commit no crime in Southwest. We need a worker. We need a doer. And the people in Munich,
Yeah.
Harvard Village, Guapo, St. James, Lower Capital, Soubise, and all of that, they bought that. And look at who they got today. Do you believe if
Yeah.
the people in Guapo had voted for any of the 3 waters, they still would be taking water from the Ravid? You understand? So,
Yeah,
so
we have to make it. We have to change. We have to help people change their life.
yes,
That is
that's
what
what
matters to
politics
me.
is all about.
Yeah,
Politics,
yeah. We have
politics.
to because
Yes,
yeah, we have to help people because you have some people they cannot or they don't have what it take. Okay, or probably you may not just have to give them money. It could be just ideas, but
right. And
it
moral
is time.
support.
Yeah,
I see
moral support. Yeah,
some of
it's
them today are
basically
running. Some of them today are running from their constituents. Number one,
yeah.
some of
No,
them
we
so cheap. They don't.
change the life one way or the other.
They wouldn't even apply to me and Francis for associate membership in the rum shop because they afraid they don't come in there at all. They
No,
don't go in by the
the
fish
time
market at
has come.
all. At all. They don't go in
You know,
there. They frightened. They don't go in.
many times,
And
many time I
we
try
have
to encourage.
open membership to them. Look at how we could go
Mr. Batis,
anywhere. Yeah, and we could converse to
I'm
people.
trying.
Yeah,
I'm trying to say to people, you must be independent thinkers, not
Right.
because what I say or Mr. Pierre or Mr. Baptiste think.
Not just
And the person
independent.
who coming towards
You
you,
must be a progressive thinker.
yeah, and
Right.
then the person who is coming for your vote,
Right.
see what he or she has, what it takes, because what you want is quality representation,
That's right.
and who will bring changes to your life,
That's
and not
right.
just your life, but you have your children and grandchildren to think about.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
telling you, you have it
because
right.
you and I may have reached the age that we're taking our exit from this world.
Right.
But what are you doing at this current time in your life to help to bring about the changes for the one that you will leave behind?
Well,
That is my
let
main
me say
concern. We're not
something.
seeing this.
Let me say something to you quick. This present group are the highest paid in the history of Grenada. And you know, if you're doing a performance appraisal, you would see that a lot of them have not met the conditions under which you should be given a raise. What? Look at the state of Grenada. Just look at Carriacou and P.T. Matnick for one, my brother. A little hurricane pass up there, devastate Carriacou, a fraction of Grenada. And look at how these guys and them jumping around on Facebook and making all kind of puppy show and Mawet and thing here, and not able to build not even a little shed.
I mean,
And here,
I'm not trying to say.
and when you look at some of the what they showcasing as the academic qualification, I just wonder. And I said, "Oh God Almighty,
I'm not
God
trying to
help
stay on
us."
the phone that much long,
Yeah.
Mr.
Thank you,
Pierre. But
thank you.
I can't
Yes.
remember the name of the gentleman. I cannot remember the name of the gentleman who redrafted our constitution, right? And to be honest with you, his words, he said, we on the long term,
Helika?
we will have serious problem regarding politicians, not only in Grenada but throughout, because we're not seeing it, and his words are coming to reality at this moment.
Yes,
Yes, man.
scholar.
Yeah, and it's very very sad. Anyhow, thank
Yeah,
you very
thank you
much for
very
the time.
much. Thank you very much for calling. Michael, welcome to the RDA, the Rum Drinkers Association.
My brother,
You could join.
I'm an official member, you know.
You could join the RDA anytime.
You are an official member.
Of
I'm an
course.
official member, you know.
And what we do is
Uh,
to provoke discussion.
Exactly.
But Michael,
Eh?
somebody other, what caused these people want to travel so? One minister went away 24 times in 23 months.
Well, I think the purpose of the traveling is that they never thought they're happy go lucky, and they love to go in galas.
Galas.
Yes, every time you hear is a gala.
Never see
Gala.
Kumsi.
I mean, I never heard about a gala he didn't like. Even when he have an ambassador responsible for the diaspora, one would thought that he would travel, but I mean, this guy is just. That's why I keep saying we have two prime ministers, because I think the acting prime minister served more in the role of acting than the substantive prime minister.
And we're not hearing
Yeah?
anything again about the foreign minister since he choked on the stage. Or after lying, he choked too.
Was the education or foreign?
No, the foreign minister, that is
So
Mr.
then two.
Andal.
Well, both of them choked then.
Well, the education minister took holiday.
Yeah, well, when you're lying, when you're not telling the truth, when you're misleading people, you would choke. Yes, you choke. The lies that's choke, you know.
In the heart of a disaster,
Yeah.
the minister of education taking holiday.
Oh boy. Well.
Things is really
No.
disturbing. Is really
So
problematic.
what's going on with school then now? I didn't hear much about that.
Well, you don't know, McDonald College is operating on a shift system in Grenada.
Right.
And Carriacou don't go into school yet. They have
Nah, man.
they
Don't
have
say that.
garbage in the play field, and you have people living in the
Carriacou
schools.
children don't go to school yet.
No, they can't go to school. Maybe they might go in. I don't know. We
I
don't
mean,
know
the
if
guy,
we'll get them.
they could not
to go for
even. They
Christmas.
couldn't even build a temporary thing and air condition it and say, well, all
They-
right.
Michael, they're looking at the designs. They're working on designs.
Well, what can I say? Okay.
We have selected a whole group of political neophytes.
Oh yes.
And that is what is sad. Why our people selected political neophytes to run this country?
Yep.
It's a serious challenge, and we have about 10 minutes more.
Well,
You have
You
about
know,
five. All right.
I said on an interview a while ago that last week that I someone asked me what I thought about Dr. Mitchell and the statement that he made, and of course I was confronted by several people who said I am encouraging him to stay on, and I said yes I am. It is my personal belief that Grenada is in a crisis. I am also of the opinion that we are short on people fighting on behalf of the vulnerables, on behalf of the have-nots, the homeless, the disadvantaged, the left out. And I think at this point in time, it would be a mistake to see experienced people who have hands-on approach in solving problems, leave the political scene at this time when the country needs them the most. I think there should be a clarion call for even more people to come forward, people with experience. And I want to urge him, stay on, fight and die with your boots on. The country is in a crisis. Look at what's going on here. At a time when hurricane has devastated Grenada, devastated our tree crops with cocoa, nutmeg, and banana. And I can't help saying it. Here you have a man coming on TV talking about another tree crop as an alternative crop when hurricane just destroy we cocoa, nutmeg, and banana. He talking about black pepper now as an alternative tree crop. I say, well, Lord have mercy. How could people with experience leave the scene at this time? Isn't black pepper a fragile tree crop? That too can be destroyed, not even by hurricane, by high wind. We have an economy that's settled on any day in Grenville. You could lie down across the road because nothing happening. Businesses are crying out. Business are crying out slow. Cost of living escalating. There's no economic direction. There's no plan. There's no urgency to do anything. All you're seeing is a set of people on Facebook making a set of noise and making a set of, as they say monkey trick. I see one guy on TV doing two liquor boathouse. The guy in the south, two liquor boathouse he doing there with a guy banging a hammer and a nail. But he on Facebook Live. Nothing serious. While people are suffering, these guys are on Facebook Live making mawet. So how could you ask a man who have accustomed to serving people, a man who understands crisis, a man who's been there in a crisis, you're asking him now to live when Grenada is in crisis again? I said, don't go, stay there and fight. Stand up and fight. Stand up and fight for the people. Who's going to speak on behalf of the have-nots? Look at what they're doing to the houses that the former government, that your government asked the Chinese for people. They're now taking the houses and giving it to people in the diaspora. Poor people can't afford that. You want him to leave and nobody said nothing? Look at how they're behaving with craft money. The country was insured in 2007. Hurricane passed in July. This is September. Up to today, a farmer can't get $1. And you're telling him to go? Well, what's going to happen to Grenada when all the fighters gone? What's going to happen when there's no one to speak on behalf of the people of Grenada? You're going to leave Grenada in the hands of a man who have no vision at all to develop country?
What do you mean he don't have vision to
Well,
do?
how could he have
Just
vision?
use an alternative.
What? When
Black
we importing 20 million pounds of poultry in the country. Prime Minister Dick and Mitchell, you did not see the need to take some of the craft money, take some of the money that you're selling the passport with, and help young people to reduce on the food import bill, help people to develop, to grow more cabbage. Look at corn, short crops. Don't mind hurricane. Hurricane go always there with us. When a hurricane knock us down, let's get up and let's plant again. How could you tell young people to come and get involved in black pepper that take 3 years to bear, and during that time you have to go through 9 procedures to get the process crop.
34 feet tall. And he have a commercial aid span between 12 to 20 years.
Yes, and if it's fragile, high wind, and it does not do well,
But, but Michael, what I like, he's scanning the green, you know. You
yes,
see how he's scanning the green.
yes.
He said he got turn black and white just now.
And you listen to the guy. I mean, just listen and people in rural Grenada, forget the party politics. Listen to the individual. You dissolve marketing board. You say farmers should buy trucks with solar panels and go around the country. Prime Minister, how many farmers get a loan in GDB to buy that truck that you talk about? How many Green Lake trucks is available to go in the valley and pick the mango? Do we have mango fields? How possible? So we face a situation with the head of the government that not leading the countries on pause. We're not going anywhere. So
Although the country in past, we have to end this program. So I'm going to ask you, there was an upsurge in violence. And the Attorney General, you didn't see the picture where she jumping up with one foot in the air and firing shot. Bow, bow.
This sociologist would always tell you that when poverty increases, crime increases. And we had a gun amnesty, and I heard the leader of the of government business said, "We're not going to pay anybody for illegality." In other words, somebody have a illegal weapon, but a lot of the guns are still out there because the government did not see the need to offer a buyback program, a cashback. A life is more important, much more important than money. And a lot of these people pay a lot of money for the weapons, and if they have the weapons and you wanted to turn in a cashback program, say, well, anyone bringing this year would guarantee $1,000 or $1,500 on thing. But could you imagine somebody purchase their weapon and they have it and they just go and serenade it like that? I mean, that may not happen just like that. But if you create the incentive, it's not just like the Americans did. The Americans got a lot of guns here when they came in because they said, look, we have a lot of guns here and we're buying it back. Come back here, put it on the table, no question asked. You get a check and you go home here. So we had to go back to the drawing board and look at the amnesty and look at how it is because crime is on the rise. And then, as time here, I want to urge the government to look at the Pre-Deal Larceny Fund. I piloted that bill. And in that Pre-Deal Larceny Fund, when someone robs somebody, because Pre-Deal Larceny is on the upsurge now, when someone robs somebody and they go before the courts, the monies that the court charge goes to the consolidated fund. So the farmer is hit twice. He get robbed and the government get the money. That don't make any sense. The Pre-Deal Larceny Fund was that monies that the magistrate charge that person will go directly to the farm. You go to a fund, and the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture disperses that fund, and the farmer gets a check. And we have to go back to that system. We have to reactivate the fund. And I want to urge the Minister of Agriculture, reactivate the Pre-Deal Larceny Fund. So when someone thieves someone goat, their sheep, their cattle, and the court charge that person, government does not get that money. Government don't belongs that the money don't belong to government. It belongs to the farmer, and that's what we should do. As I tell you, Francis, an hour when you want me on the program, we have to get up 4 day morning.
But it's a long time we have not been in the symposium. So now that you're here, we're going to have many of these discussions. We want to thank all those who call and contribute to the program. And we want to encourage you to share our program. And we do hope to have our brother back in studio as soon as possible.
Yeah, man.
Thank you very much.
Sure. Thank you so much, too. Yeah.